But first and foremost, I want to give Kol Halab and now Yahweh, Bahashem Mashiach Malak Yahweh Shai, with Hebrew Israelites of the Masada, the fortress, coming out for another dope lesson, man. Right. You know, we challenging Christians to scrutinize their thought process on what they thought was real. How you doing, brother? Are you believe in Christ, brother? You believe in Jesus Christ? All day. All day? Let me ask you something real quick, right? Now, are you aware of the commandments of Christ?
That I am.
There you are. Can you name me one?
I shall not kill.
Thou shalt not kill. Now, that's a commandment of the Most High,
Yeah.
right? Now, do you know another one, perhaps?
I know quite a bit, man. Where we going with this?
What I'm going with this is this. The word Christian means a follower of Christ, meaning you do what Christ did, correct? Did Jesus Christ, which would include thou shalt not kill?
So,
he did that, right?
He shed his blood for us to even exist today.
He did for a particular reason, right? Now, let me ask you this. Who was his blood for?
It's for all the Gentiles.
For all the Gentiles?
Yeah.
Is that what he said?
Yeah, for all.
15:24. Okay, let's get some words of Christ real quick, right? Because forget what man say. Let God be true and every man a liar. Can we agree on that? All praise to the Most High. Go ahead.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 15,
Matthew
verse
27 to 25.
But he answered and said,
This is Christ speaking. Read.
I am not sent.
He said what?
I am not sent,
But unto who?
but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Is that everybody?
Lost sheep.
The lost sheep of the house of Israel. Does that include the Gentiles?
That's lost sheep of Israel. Okay, carry on.
That's what he said, right?
Carry on.
Now, let's get to the blood, because that's the main thing. Get for context, go to verse 20.
Okay, con. This is Matthew chapter 27 and verse 20.
Bring it up.
But the chief priests and elders persuaded the multitude that they should ask Barabbas and destroy Jesus.
Now, this is for context. These chief priests and these leaders are Israelite leaders, and they're talking to the multitude of the nation of Israel. And they're saying, give us Barabbas and kill Jesus. Read.
Keep going. Verse 21, the governor answered and said unto them, whether of the twain, why ye that I release unto you.
And this is speaking of a Roman governor, because they're under a Roman occupation there in their time of conquest. Read.
They said, Barabbas. Pilate said unto them,
What did Pilate say?
What shall I do then with Jesus, which is called Christ?
Now Pilate is a Gentile, obviously, correct? He's of the nation of Rome. Read.
They all said unto him, let him be crucified.
They said, let Jesus be crucified, right? Go on.
And the governor said,
right, now real quick, you said that his blood was for the Gentiles, right? Watch this.
Why? What evil hath he done? But they cried out more, saying,
right,
let him be crucified.
Right.
When Pilate saw that he could prevail nothing, but that rather a tumult was made.
So the multitude of Israelites, imagine about 5,000 black people getting angry because one person didn't go along with what they said. That one person is going to be persuaded to do what they say, right? Go ahead.
But rather the tumult was made, he took water and washed his hands before the multitude.
And he said what?
Saying, I am innocent of the blood of this just person.
Now you said that it's for the Gentiles, but here we see a Gentile saying that he's innocent of this blood. It's not on him. So it can't be for all Gentiles. Read.
See yet to it. Then answer all the people.
All right.
And said.
Now the people are the chief priests and the nation of Israel. This is what they said about the blood of Christ. Read.
Then answer all the people and said.
Right.
His blood be on us.
What did the nation of Israel say?
His blood be on us.
And who else?
And on our children.
And who else?
And on our children.
Where are the Gentiles?
Gentiles are pretty much the lost sheep of today's time, are they not?
Hold on, but wait. The lost sheep would mean that there has to be a shepherd, yes?
Yeah.
So then who is the shepherd that would get these lost sheep?
So who's the blood shed for?
We just read it.
Yeah.
And the blood is for the nation of Israel, right?
Yeah.
Do we agree? Because that's what the text says.
So who's on the descendants of Israel?
Today?
Yeah.
Now we're cooking.
Yeah.
Now we're cooking. So do you know how to identify someone who either is or is not an Israelite?
No, fill me in.
I got you. Give me Numbers 1, right? Numbers 1 and 18. Go ahead. You already getting it?
This is the book of Numbers, chapter 1 and verse 18.
44.
And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month.
Right.
And they declared their pedigrees.
Do you know what a pedigree is? Pedigree is pretty much a list of where you come from genealogically or who you descend from, right? Like if you want to get like a prize-winning show dog, you check its what? Its pedigree. You see, okay, this is a prime German Shepherd breed. Its father won 27 consecutive competitions. This dog is from a good line. Read.
And they declared their pedigrees after their family by the house of their fathers.
So your lineage is determined by who your father is, right? Now give me this. Actually, start at 1.
Okay, come on. This is
No. Deuteronomy 1:1 for context. We have to figure out who this audience is. Go ahead.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1.
Right? Just to get the audience of the book, right? Go ahead.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto who?
Unto all Israel.
So these words in the book of Deuteronomy were spoken to the Israelites. Now give me that. And start at 15 and then jump to the point.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 15.
But
it shall come to pass,
right,
if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe, to do all his commandments and statutes, which I command thee this day.
So if you don't follow God's laws, read.
That all these curses.
All these what?
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So if the Israelites don't keep the law that they agreed to keep, then they get put under curses. We agree with this, yes? Now watch this. Now give me that.
God, verse 44.
Same chapter.
He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to. You want 45?
45.
God, this is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee.
So the Israelites will be overtaken in these curses if they disobey. Read.
Till thou be destroyed.
And it's not completely destroyed as in don't exist no more. Because when you read throughout the Old Testament, you can see where they clearly did not keep the law. They repented and came back and were in God's favor. Just like, you got children? Either they do what they say like they're supposed to. If they don't, punishments. Once they get done with that, they realize what they did was wrong. They stop doing it. Okay, cool. Now we can go to Target, get you some toys. Oh, you need some new cleats? Yeah, we can do that. Oh, why are you messing up again? Now I got to punish you. Same thing. Read.
God, till thou be destroyed. Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right.
To keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee. And
context being the curses that shall be upon you for what?
For a sign and for a wonder.
Now, when you wonder about something, that means you're thinking about it critically. Like, why is this happening to me? Why are these things happening? A sign is to identify something. You can, when you read about the curses, and of course, along with archaeology, history, and prophecy, you can see who these people are, right? Yeah. Now, dumb question, but I have to ask because, you know, you can't be sure these days. Would you identify African American?
I consider myself American.
Okay. Lineage-wise, though, would you be called an African American or a black man? Native? Okay. Like now I have to ask, do you like lineagely? Like, do you go back to the quote-unquote Native Americans of today, or were your people brought over here on ships from the west coast of Africa? Your people already. Okay, so you're a native. All praise. Get the Most High hand. Get the Most High hand. Because guess what? The natives are also Israelites. Yeah. On this side of the hemisphere, we can identify that the Israelites are the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives on this side of the hemisphere. When we go somewhere else, you can be called the people of the Igbo tribe, the Ashanti, the Yoruba. Those are people as well, right? Just to name a few, right? And so give me, matter of fact, give me a nation shall come upon thee from far, right? Now, the natives of this land, they had the British, the French, the Dutch, and the Spaniards all come here from Europe, yes? Oh, yeah. They traveled over here by sailboat, and they began to make their colonies, their provinces, and in doing so, took your land away from you. Yeah. And that's not right. Now, what if I told you that that was in the Bible? Because y'all would be of the northern kingdom of Israel, and you disobeyed the Most High, and you went into your captivity. Give me that. What are you doing? What are you doing? Wait, where you at? Where you at?
I thought you wanted
no. I want it right here. We're not leaving this book. You're thinking too hard, man.
Come on.
Right here.
A nation shall, right here.
There you go.
Come on. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 48.
We're getting more into the curses, read.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee. In hunger.
In what?
In hunger.
Now, so there are some people who own farms and produce, but by and large, us as a people, we have to go to the store or someone else to get our produce to sustain our bodies and our households, yes?
Yeah.
So we shall serve them in hunger, read.
And in thirst.
Same thing. Not everybody owns a distillery or can produce their own water that comes from the ground or make their own sodas. They have to go somewhere and do it, right?
Yeah.
Read.
And in nakedness.
Did you make your clothes? Nah, but you look good though. You're stunning, brother. You're stunning. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
So in everything, you have to go to your enemies to get it. Read.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Which you can actually look up a yoke of iron. You'll see a black man with an actual yoke of iron on his neck with 4 prongs going out. So that way if he runs into a tree line, he gets stuck. Give me 49.
Verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
Now, is Europe close to America or far? It's far. It's a far journey, right? Read.
From the end of the earth.
From a whole nother side of the earth. Read.
As swift as the eagle flies.
Now, an eagle is a predatory animal, yes? It'll scope out its prey, swoop down, and then catch it. What's the symbol of America? The eagle.
Yeah.
Same thing with Spain, and you'll also see it across Europe as well. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
Now, during the time when those people came over here, did the natives speak the language of these Europeans? No. Y'all had your own language that you kept up with, right? Yeah. So that means that people from a whole nother place are going to come over here. You're not going to understand what they're saying to you. Read.
Come on. A nation of fierce countenance.
The fierce countenance means they have an angry look, an intimidating look about them. When they hit these shores, they came with full suits armor, gunpowder, guns, shields. They came here to establish themselves and what? Make war. And they even did a crazy thing was teach us how to survive in these lands for the cold winter. Teach us how to grow this corn. Teach us how to sow this earth. And then what they do to you? They stabbed you in the back. They gave you a blanket full of smallpox. They stole your home. They made you walk a trail, and they called it the Trail of Tears. Read.
That's what we call it Thanksgiving.
Exactly. It's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving. Finish that.
A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young.
Did they care? Man, woman, child, elder, or youngster? They didn't care. They were feeding our babies to alligators. They literally hung us all upon trees, man. That's only one curse. But that's something your people went through, right? That's something my people went through, right? The curses are an identifying factor, yes? Now give me 68.
God. Verse 68.
Actually, no, give me 66.
God.
What? Now, it's always a bike. Now, as a native, because I see you have a cross on, did your people always follow the ways of Christianity?
No.
No, you didn't. But yet it was forced upon you. Want to know how you make somebody follow something real easy? Give them something that's familiar, but you've twisted it to where they can't identify it. So they gave you something that belongs to you, but you took it as something new because it was forced and you were told to do it. Just like when they would pack native children in those boarding schools and do abominable things to them. Go ahead.
God. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt.
Salakia. 64, my bad.
Verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people.
Were our people not scattered, both on our end and yours? We've been scattered all over the place, read.
From one end of the earth, even unto another.
We've been put all over this place. A lot of people say, well, you go anywhere, you'll find a black person. And they always attribute the transatlantic slave trade to just so-called black people. But guess what? They put y'all on boats first and shipped you out of America. That's how y'all ended up in Europe. That's how you ended up over there in China, in Japan, and Guam, and all these other places. We're everywhere because they shipped us everywhere. Read.
God. From from the one end of the earth, even unto the other.
Right.
And there thou shalt serve other gods.
You show what?
Thou shalt serve other gods.
They're going to make you serve other gods. Now, the cross, as the Christian standard would tell it, what would that cross be made of?
Wood.
Made of wood. Now, a lot of people also follow being a Muslim, yes? Or Islam, right? And they have this thing called the cobblestone, which is made of what? Stone, right? The big giant cube over there in the center of Mecca, right?
Yeah.
And then what? I think it's like once a year or once every 4 years they do this Hajj. They go over there on a pilgrimage and they walk around and do all this thing because they worship that rock, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of our people that do that, right? Go ahead.
God. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
We never knew this. Our fathers didn't worship Christianity. Read.
Even wood.
Even what?
Even wood.
And what?
And stone.
And what?
And stone.
Just for the record, I didn't write this.
Yeah.
I didn't write it. Now give me 60. This is the last curse.
Yeah.
Watch this.
God. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68.
Real quick, you're familiar with the story of Moses,
Yeah.
right? They were in Egypt, let my people go. And what were they doing in Egypt that he had to go to Pharaoh and say, let my people go? What were they? They were slaves, right?
Yeah.
So let's say all of us, natives, black people, we all dip out, we go find a new spot away from America.
Yeah.
We establish our own society, we're living, we're free, we're thriving. And then we see Americans come to our new shores and they say, all of y'all going back to America.
Yeah.
What's the first thing you think we about to be doing?
Going right back to slavery.
Why? Because why?
Because that's how they were living before they got
And that's the point.
Yeah.
Because we associate this place with our captivity, our imprisonment, our depression, and our slavery. It's
right.
the same thing that the Israelites do. They attribute that because Egypt, I was a slave in Egypt. I don't want to go back to slavery.
Yeah.
Now do it.
God. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Put you back into slavery. Read.
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
They walked out of Egypt, right?
With ships.
They walked out.
Oh, sorry.
And then, but even before that, they walked in 70 souls deep, became a mass multitude and into a nation, and walked out as well. It takes about an hour bus ride to go from Israel to Egypt on modern day terms.
Yeah.
So why would you need a ship to go back to a physical land of Egypt? It's not talking about a physical land. It'll say that here in just a second. It's saying, I'm going to put you back in slavery with ships.
Yeah.
Historically, who went to history on ships?
Yeah.
We did. They put y'all on ships first, and then they came and got us.
Right.
Go ahead.
God. Into Egypt again with ships.
By
the way whereof I spake unto thee.
Right.
Thou shalt see it no more again.
Meaning you're not going to see that type of slavery in Egypt again. And guess what? The Israelites have never been in hardcore bondage in Egypt since that time. Read.
God. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there you shall be sold into your enemies.
Wait, you shall be what to your enemies?
Sold into your enemies.
What happened when we hit them shores? Weren't we sold? Put on auction blocks? Just like how they sold y'all to different plantations too? So wait, these people are going to come, we're going to go into slavery, we're going to get sold, and what else?
God. Sold into your enemies for bond man.
Slave man.
And bond women.
Slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
And that doesn't mean that you're not going to be bought, because obviously we were. What that means is to redeem. So like, for example, you keep up with any sports?
Yeah.
Who's your favorite team?
Bears.
The Bears? Okay, favorite player on the team. Or, as a matter of fact, current quarterback.
No current quarterback at all, man.
Okay. Well, let's say the current quarterback
of favorite quarterback of all time is Warren Miller.
Warren Miller? Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say he's still playing right now, right? Let's say he's still playing and he wants to go play for the Patriots for whatever reason. Can he just up and go to the Patriots? No. He's under a contract, which means he can only get out on 1-2 ways. Either A, he fulfills a contractual agreement, or he buys himself out or redeems himself out of it. Even in the law of God, what Israelites would do if someone was down on their luck, like say if you had a cousin who was homeless, you say, all right, you know what, cool, come to my house, work for my household. You know what I'm saying? Build yourself up. I'll give you a house. I'll give you food. I'll give you bed. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself up on your feet. And after about 7 years, you can go. And let's say a family comes out, hey, I need him to come back, and they pay you for the services that he didn't fully fulfill. You just bought him out of the contract. That's what that means. So why is it that the troubles that we go through are in this book? It's because we are the people.
Right.
We are the people of the book, right? Christ never looked like this. Oddly enough, he looks like this guy.
God.
You know, really just a dark complexion. Yes, sir. But
I do appreciate that. I got other appointments.
I got you, brother. I got you. Here, check this card out.
Bless y'all.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Definitely. Y'all see me again, I'll go by Davis Gardner, man.
Davis Gardner? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Y'all be blessed.
Yes, sir. You do the same, God. Get the Most High hand, man. Get the Most High hand. All praises, God. All praises, man. Look at that. We caught a fish before we get started, right? Y'all still got